This CU podcast segment is sponsored by NordVPN. It's what I use to keep myself safe online, and you can too. If you care about the security and safety of your online presence, take control of your internet experience today with NordVPN. I've used NordVPN when I'm traveling, or I'm in a restaurant, at a diner, airport. You just feel a little bit more secure knowing that someone's watching your back. It's indispensable, NordVPN, for helping avoid nasty things online like malware, phishing attacks, and ransomware.
NordVPN has great threat protection that protects from malicious sites, downloads, trackers, and intrusive ads. Threat protection is always on the lookout, even when not connected to a VPN. So just because you're not browsing the internet doesn't mean that it's not checking your computer for things that are going wrong. Stay safer with secure internet. With NordVPN, all of your internet data stays safe behind a wall of next-generation encryption. It blocks malware and ads. You can turn on CyberSec to avoid malware hosting websites, annoying ads, and botnet control. It has a strict no logs policy. Nord will not track, collect, or share your private data. It's none of their business. And they'll protect your data nonstop. A kill switch will make sure your data will not be exposed, not even for a brief moment. And it masks your IP. Keep your browsing to yourself. Don't let others track what you do online. There are VPN servers everywhere. Choose from 5,400 plus servers in 59 countries. Enjoy the internet with no limits or borders. You have worldwide access. You can enjoy instant secure access to hundreds of streaming websites worldwide, and you get ultra-fast connections. You don't need to sacrifice speed for better security. NordVPN gives you both. You can cover multiple devices with one account. You can cover up to 6 devices. Secure them all in any combination. And it provides privacy on the go. Protect your online life with one-click next-generation encryption for mobile.
Take control of your internet experience today with NordVPN. Right now, you can get a 2-year plan at a huge discount plus 4 additional months for free when you go to nordvpn.com/CU podcast. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/CU podcast, or just click the link in the description below. We got voicemails, Ian.
We sure do.
You go to anchor.fm/CU podcast. You leave a voicemail. Keep it 20 seconds is Pat's sweet spot on the voicemails. That you know what I like out there. And maybe you'll make it on the air.
Hey, Pat and Ian, this is Vince again from Northern California. Hey, if there was a Mount Rushmore of video games, who would be the 4 characters on that Mount Rushmore video games? Thanks, guys.
I got it. Pac-Man, Mario, Sonic, and Doom Guy.
See, I think what's interesting about this question is that it's almost like a lot of Mount Rushmores. The first 3 you will get almost no argument usually against, like the first, and the 4th one you can probably make cases for like 5 different people. You love Doom Guy. Who doesn't love Doom Guy?
Taking Doom Guy.
So obviously, Pac-Man is the OG, the original mascot for video games. Hugely most influential game ever, probably. Mario blew up things in the 80s. Nintendo mascot. The biggest icon now in video games, and probably will be forever. Sonic was the second big icon to come up after Pac-Man and Mario. So obviously Sonic, even though half his games are trash. The 4th one, the 4th one is interesting to me because once you get past like the eras in the 90s, it opens up more. You got Xbox, you have Sony. You have more PC, and it's a different era for sure. Once you get past the mid to late 90s, to me, I thought long and hard about this, and I honestly think it would probably be the fucking Halo guy. I honestly think a lot of people would vote if there was a contest, due to like the fact that it's Xbox's big icon, hugely popular games. You got the fucking meme series shit on YouTube early on. And now you got a television show. Like I think that would be the modern one, and you can probably make cases for others, but I think that's how it would progress. It's like 80s to 90s to 2000s to the Halo. I really think that's what I would put for that.
I've heard your arguments, and I understand where you're coming from, but the answer is Doom Guy.
Okay, and they look like 9% the same, so maybe you can just alter the art a little bit on the helmet. The answer is Doom. Okay, next.
Hey guys, Rich from Cincinnati again. Got a quick one for you. All right, here it is. You got one favorite snack food, one favorite video game. Could be any kind of console, handheld, whatever. And the apocalypse is upon us.
Okay. One handhold and one snack. Like that's it.
Gummy bears and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. There we go.
Oh God, what's the one snack? I don't usually have like a one prefer. I like mixed nuts a lot, but God, I love Cool Ranch Doritos.
They're good.
And is it a handheld game?
Any game.
Oh, any game?
Handheld, whatever.
Well, I always said,
Civilization
is infinitely replayable.
Yeah, I'm just changing it up a little.
I know, but that's, yeah.
Hey, Pat and Ian. Steve from Pittsburgh.
Hey, Steve.
I was wondering if you guys had a holy grail game or a game that always manages to slip through your fingers. Or if you own the game, what that game was. Thanks. Love the podcast. I
don't think I've ever had a game that's always slipped through my fingers like it was, like escaping me. I'm trying to think. No, I don't think there's ever been one like that. What about you? Was there one?
I mean, just from a purely collection standpoint, if there was one Holy Grail game I'd have, it's probably the Super Real Mahjong that was on the PC Engine, where there was a contest copy that there's only 13 known copies of. One of those, or a complete in-box Hong Kong Mahjong.
Oh, wow. Well, you know someone who has one, right?
I know someone who has two.
That's still incredible.
One's loose. I think one's complete.
We're going to make an offer. I think I'd want a Vectrex Mr. Boston. It's just a dumb thing that shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
And I almost had a chance to buy one. Someone contacted me saying they bought, I think, a Vectrex. It's like 8 years ago. They bought a Vectrex and it had it in there. I don't think it had the overlay. And I said, I said, do you want to sell it? I never heard back from them. I think it's so dumb that I want a Mr. Boston Vectrex cart, which is just basically a reskin of their fucking.
I mean, it's just
clean
as
sweep.
Equally dumb that I would want the Hong Kong Mahjong. It's just,
but that's at least a interesting game, and they're hard to find. It didn't come out. Next.
Hey, Pat, Ian, long-time listener. Question is for both of you. When you grew up, did you have any special way of getting your NES cards or SNES cards to ever start? I had one friend that his technique was to keep a little bit of the top of the cartridge right, not quite in, but enough where he could almost like hit the top of it and it always seemed to work. Mm-hmm. Also, I had a friend that just kind of slammed the cartridge down and somehow worked magic. And also, Pat, what's your ultimate pizza if you could make it? And Ian, what's your ultimate sandwich? Thanks,
Intermittent fast. What's your ultimate sandwich?
I mean, I if you gave me time to think of something intense and like a real thought, I could. However, I think that there is a lot to be said about a BLT being the perfect sandwich.
Really?
I think it's fantastic. A little sweetness from the tomato, salt from the bacon,
mayo,
the refreshing crunch of the lettuce, and just a little bit of tang from a little bit of mayo. And I add a lot of fresh cracked black pepper.
It's a Tick's favorite food was a BLT.
Oh yeah, it's fucking amazing.
My favorite pizza. I think I had it. I think a few years ago. Meatball, mushroom, and eggplant. That's great. My all-time favorite pizza. And you can't get it a lot of places. Well, on the West Coast, most places don't have eggplant on the pizza.
What was the first question?
I don't know. I'm starving now. The first question was about getting tips, getting games to work. I didn't have one as a kid. I just blow on it because the first few years you didn't realize about rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. I don't know how they even got out that you could do that. But imagine, I'm thinking about the hours. It would take you 35 minutes sometimes to get a game started. I'm not even joking. You'd sit there.
You'd struggle.
It was bad.
My tip, and it's still my tip to this day, is I developed the special wiggle.
The wiggle, that worked. We just
special wiggle.
The wiggle works. A little wiggle.
I shift to the right, to the left, and then to the right. And I take my fingers off and I hit play.
And somehow the pins get nudged in there. Yeah. Then we get massaged.
It's like, snuggle in there. Yeah,
it's really weird. It's the worst technology ever for a cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Hey Pat, hey Ian, Rick Pasley from Rensselaer, Indiana. Hey. A non-gaming question.
Uh-oh.
I was just wondering, do you think that pro wrestling fans are going to view the 2010s as fondly as the 70s and 80s and up to 95ish? Have a great day and love the podcast and blessed be and all that good stuff.
No,
there's a lot. I mean, there's definitely good things that happen in wrestling in the 2010s. There have been great matches in the 2010s, but as a whole, the story, the product. It's been
was all
stagnant.
Cena.
It's been stagnant.
It was all Cena, then all Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought. It's the Roman Reigns show.
They kicked out Daniel Bryan. They tried it, then he got hurt. And then TNA was a dumpster fire, I think, once you got the 2010s, once Hogan was involved and stuff like. So TNA was good up until that point with Bischoff, and then so yeah, I don't no. So we're gonna top the 80s into the 90s. Do like 3 or 4 more here.
Hey Pat, hey Ian, this is Ryan from Wisconsin. I was listening to the latest episode and I heard Pat talking about Knight Rider, watching Knight
Was that like a wolf in the background?
That sure was. That's what
Rider
I heard.
and it not having an ending. Actually, there was a TV movie in '91 called Knight Rider 2000 that actually went.
Yeah, I went through it before. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, we went through the Knight Rider 2000. How it's. I mean, you almost want to watch it to see how it doesn't. It's not Knight Rider at all. It's just not.
Hi, Pat and Ian. It's Charles from Saskatchewan, Canada. My question is, what is your favorite special edition console? Mine's the Ice Blue Nintendo 64. Love the podcast. Hope you have a great day.
I used to have an answer to this. Now I don't.
Mine is the Pokemon Center Tokyo Limited Edition Game Boy Light, which I own, and I need to see if you can get a screen replacement in the back of it because those old like Timex style Indiglo screens they start to burn out after a while. So
did I used to have an answer for this? I don't have one anymore. I thought I used to have an answer for this.
Maybe
my favorite variant, and now I can't remember like what that is. Basically, because NES didn't have any, it just had the top loader. It almost doesn't count.
Pat, Ian, it's Sean from Dublin, Ireland.
Sean.
Obviously, the voicemail segment of the podcast has been great success, and Tommy has been a key player in it. But just wondering if opening up has opened it up to nasty voicemails or any hate from potential fanboys of a certain console. Thanks.
A little bit, but not a lot. Like 1 or 2 messages.
We never got hateful Amico message.
Oh, hateful Amico messages. I think he just meant in general.
Oh yeah, we've got a couple. They don't.
Yeah.
One made the air.
Yeah,
we went off on one person, but no. And usually people are respectful. But no, we had no one Amico.
Yeah,
because
what are they gonna say?
Oh, plus you're thrown to the dogs. If you leave us a voicemail, we'll rip you apart when it comes to that. Like you don't have a chance.
Hey guys, love the show. Since Tommy stopped calling in, I would like to take a moment to ask our Australian friend Dongo to start calling in again and talk about his favorite Australian exclusive Nintendo games. Thanks, guys.
Well, it's Dago.
It's Dago.
Not Dongo, but no, I don't want him to ever call it. His last one was so bad. I can't believe we were kind of tricked for the first one there.
I wasn't. It was just kind of no, I was not at all.
Well, those we have actual Aussies calling us. It's like, yeah, too much. Dago,
This is Mitch from Nebraska. Long time, first time. I was listening to your guys' podcast from last week where you played the Q&A from the convention. Ian had mentioned that he was terrified of driving. I am very curious about this. Ian, can you please elaborate? Thanks, guys.
You want to elaborate on that?
I mean, there's not a whole lot to elaborate on. I just find driving to be an unpleasant sensation. I actually don't. If you really want some info, I don't much like vehicles at all. I don't like being on bikes.
You like being on bikes?
I don't like being on bikes.
What did you do when you were a kid?
I loved being on a bike when I was a kid, but as an adult, I don't really like being on bikes. I like to walk around on my own 2 feet. As far as driving, it stresses me out. I've always had anxiety issues, and I've managed to get almost all of that under control over the years. But one thing that will still always make me anxious as fuck is the idea of driving. I don't like being in control of a metal shell wrapped around me. I don't know what else there is to really say about it.
Metal shell wrapped around me. I'm not sure I ever had it described like that.
And the thing is like it was kind of California, I think, that really just put an end to my desire to do a whole lot of driving, because I did get my license in Buffalo. I learned how to drive in the fucking snow in Buffalo. So like it wasn't like I was learning in prime conditions. But I moved out here, and my first job was floral delivery, and it was misery. One, because at the time there weren't like
Sure.
I mean, the smartphones weren't a thing yet. There was no, I had to look up all my routes on fucking Thompson's Maps books, which was a pain in the ass. And on top of it, I was thrown into it on a Ford E150 van, which is a rolling goddamn blind spot on wheels. I mean, the thing just sucks. So, my first experience out here is, trying to, maintain a job. When they hired me, they didn't tell me it was going to be for delivery because I was not applying to be a delivery driver because I used to be a florist. And then I showed up my first day and they're like, hey, if you want a job, you're delivery. And I just took it. I'm Captain Voicemail. We got it. Anyways, so yeah, that was, well, you ran plenty long. Yeah, that's basically it. I hate it. I drove out here. It was a miserable experience. And I just said, you know what? I'm not fucking doing it.